We go from the historic Monza to once again another new venue that was made on F1 2021 game. Welcome along to the Algarve International Circuit for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Portimao, then, you got 15 corners that make up a track that looks very similarly to Spain, and 2 DRS zones, one going down the main straight, and one from turn 4 all the way to turn 5. And considering the very twisty track that this is, could see quite a bit of action here tonight. Last week, we had a thrilling Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and it saw Titan take the win from Wrath, and crucially for Titan, that gave him the championship lead with a total of 43 points, ahead of one underdog in the Aston Martin, with James B following suit in P3. This bald guy in P4 following a podium last week, then Caesar in the top 5, followed by 2R Mixer, then DeCoach in 7th, Wavy 8th, Hungry Caveman in 9th, and Erman Growth rounding out the top 10. My name is Minico, and alongside me is once again LDR Redeemer. Yes, I'm saying your full username. Suck it up. What do you expect out of this race, really? That's my question.
Lots of spins. No, really anything can happen. Like you said, we're here in Portugal, so anything can happen, especially with turn 8 and turn 4 being the two tricky corners on this circuit. As someone just joined in late, I believe. I don't know who that was.
I believe it was Wavy in the AlphaTauri. He joined a little bit late, but he's here now. But yeah, turn 4 and turn 8 really causing a bit of a problem for most of these drivers because they have quite a lack of grip around there. Well, that could definitely be shown here. That could definitely be a case of make or break your race here in Portimao. And also to make or break your qualifying, which we're currently going through at the moment. And the first person to set a lap is going to be the Alpine of Stupid Flanders, in which Alpine have been looking pretty good, at least on one side of the garage.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just a matter of if they can keep it together for the season.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can keep it together. As of right now, speaking of Alpine, they're currently sitting second in the Constructors' Championship, all with Titans points of 43. So Stupid Flanders doesn't have any points in the moment, but that could all change as well. Tier 4, you never know. You just never know. You could be on the podium, you could be just disqualified. It's a complete unknown. They're sitting 5 points currently behind Aston Martin, in which one underdog and TOR Mixer have been thereabout. They've had some unfortunate moments, but they have been racking up the points. That's McLaren in third with a total of 24 points, tied with AlphaTauri, in which AlphaTauri look to have a strong driver lineup this season, but it's just a matter of trying to keep it consistent and out of the barriers. Then it's Ferrari in 5th, obviously with bald guys 15 points last week. It jumped them up the order. And then it's Mercedes in 6th, Williams 7th, Red Bull 8th. Both Alfa Romeo and Haas don't have any points as it stands, but that could all change. And speaking of Haas, actually, Bois went up to 3rd currently on the medium compound, as he's the fastest of the mediums.
Yeah, most definitely. I had to yawn mid-sentence. I'm sorry.
Lovely.
Yeah, like, I went to start my sentence, and then it's just like, So,
yeah, that seems about right.
4.
Oh. Yeah, turn 4 once again causing an issue, and Wavy, the first one around from what I know, at that corner, but he's kept it out of the wall, and he just has to sit there as a bunch of cars are coming through to turn 4. What the heck?
Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, a car that is on the lap at the moment, I believe, is James B in 8th, coming on the final corner, keeping the shortest distance to the line. He's going to go 3rd, and I believe the next was Wrathful in the Ferrari, excuse me. He goes up to 5th.
Yeah, so some very decent bankers starting up already for qualifying. I believe the next person is going to be DeCoach. Actually, no, he dives into the pit, so scratch that. Instead, it's going to be the Alfa Romeo. No, it's not. Never mind. He
Williams
pits as well. Yeah, it is the
Carvin
Williams. It
didn't
was
improve, and he's out of battery.
Oh, lovely. People keep joining and joining and leaving, and it's screwing up my scroller.
Yeah, so I
Come
believe
on.
the last 2 people to join were Butters and Caesar. So I believe that is the full grid. As Slow and Steady is coming around the final corner now, and he's got Caesar right behind him, who's on a lap. Slow and Steady's gonna go.
Slow and Steady moves up to what was P9, but then is quickly down to P10 as Caesar goes up to P8. So top 10 position as it stands, although only 11 drivers have set a lap time, with Carvin being 11th and last of the ones who set a lap time with a 19.4. And right now, for pole, the gap between first and second is 3.5 tenths. So Titan already has a bit of a margin for the start of this qualifying session.
Oh, Turn 8 almost claimed its first victim of Corny Table.
Ooh. He's on an outlap. Not sure why you're pushing on an outlap is my question, but nonetheless, he's just going to keep on going.
On a lap. He made it through turn 8 cleanly. Coming through 10. I believe that's 10. I could be wrong.
It's turn 11,
Yep.
I believe?
Yep.
Yeah, that's turn 11.
Yep.
He's just invalidated.
Yeah.
Scratch
I believe
that
the
lap,
next
so
person
he'll...
is going to be Underdog, who's coming through turn 13 on the mediums. Let's see if he can jump one there in 7th, the highest medium runner. One of the 3 medium runners on this track at the moment. Or to set laps on the mediums. Wow, English gamer bad. As per
there's not that many
usual.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that many people starting on the mediums. Which is one Underdog goes to 3rd.
Okay.
Great lap on the mediums.
Oh,
All
Corey,
right.
where do you go? Turn 4 claims his second victim. Just had a stroke.
Yeah, you did. Doesn't look like he hit the wall though, so he's good to go. But once again, turn 4 claiming another victim. I said my prediction for turn 4 was going to be 5. I believe we're already at 2.
Is that your combined, or is
we're
that
getting
all
there.
Together?
Just for qualifying.
Oh, okay.
And the race is probably going to be worse, but you never know.
Turn 8 might be worse too, because they're probably pushing through turn 8 as well. One thing I did find out though, when I was doing my time trial laps, and I don't know if this is the same for you, it Sprightly says the purple sector 1, Cody, stop lying to me. If you run out wide on entry to turn 4, like you come out of turn 3 and then you just throw the car all the way to the right hand side of the circuit, you can actually get a decent run through. Oh, Sprightly takes the first victim of turn 8.
Got to be careful around there too, because if you spin and then you go onto the track a certain way, you could get disqualified. But Sprightly clearly knows that, and he's just trying to rejoin the track safely, getting out of the way of his teammate Wrath, and he does so quite nicely, and he'll charge up the battery. But yeah, turn 4, on the entry to turn 4 is going to be a bit interesting, because obviously right before that you have the hairpin of turn 3, which is quite tight. It could possibly provide some overtaking opportunities if you have the run out of turns 1 and 2, but it's a bit risky. So you just really have to play it smart.
Mixer almost lost it on the exit of 13 through 14, and then down the hill through turn 15. Come up over the tabletop. He's gonna go with a 17-2.
He started on pole a week ago, I believe. Actually, no, never mind. I take that back. He started on the front row last week, and he's hopefully going to go one better than that. And right now, he's provisional pole. Who's? Oh.
He's backwards turn 8.
Yeah, looks to be so. Not sure. Might get disqualified for this. He's not moving. Oh no.
I'm on board with Titan. He said a purple sector 2.
Oh, wait, hold on a minute. It's starting to rain.
Oh boy.
I'm seeing rain droplets on board with Titan right now as he comes across the line, and he now goes to pole position with a 117.1. But this could be make or break. If you want to get this lap done, you need to do it now. You're not going to be able to start in the position you want.
Went up to P3.
Good lap time from the McLaren, who started on pole a week ago. And obviously, last season, he missed out on the championship, so he's hopefully wanted to go for that once again. Currently sitting third in the drivers, and currently sitting third in qualifying. So far, it's been pretty solid, but, 13 races, 2 already done. You're gonna have to make those moves soon. Yeah. But currently, right now, looking good.
Yeah, on board with Bois. He's just gonna back out of it. Who was that this one? Was that corner table turn 8? That's his third victim for that corner. I believe he also spun turn 4, so he's spun in both corners now. That's depressing.
Yeah, clearly not having a good time around here. He hasn't hit the wall on both occasions, luckily, so he's able to keep on going. But honestly,
Butters with a purple sector too.
We'll see if that's legit or not as we go on board with the Haas driver, who currently doesn't have a lap time. The track is definitely starting to deteriorate due to the what's the word I'm looking for?
Moisture.
Well, duh. Sure. Yeah, due to the moisture. He only goes up to P11 though.
Well, I don't know what word you're kind of trying to find.
I couldn't think of it either. I still can't think of it now. So we're just gonna move on from that. Flanders has retired from the session. So
I bet you
that was in the pits.
We're gonna get done the stream and you're gonna be like, hey, this is the word I was looking for, by the way.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna note this and yeah. Mumu saying due to the precipitation. Yeah, that's the right word. Oh, Carbon!
What happened?
Nearly fully loses it, but that's a really good save from the Williams. And, well, quite convenient. And he goes right into the pits. I think this might be qualifying, though, by the looks of it. Due to these conditions, I think this might be it. Well, then again, one underdog is currently on a lap time. Well, currently on a lap. Where does he put the Aston Martin? Doesn't improve. So, think that just says that this is pretty much qualifying. Very anticlimactic, needless to say. Excuse me while I eat my burger. Pretty sure my Cocom's just dead. I don't know.
No,
Caesar went up to P8, by the way.
I'm trying to figure 2 or 3 things out.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Caesar went up to P8, though, in these conditions, so he's able to find time in his lap. So it's really just a matter of
if he can
keep it on the track and
true or not, but Frizy was 6 tenths up on his time through the second sector.
Very interesting. I'm seeing that as well. So maybe the track isn't deteriorating as much as he wants to, but he invalidates exit turn 14. Ouch. Wrath is retired from the session, so he thinks this is going to be qualifying. This is it. Frizy's also retired, so that's further proving my point. Arabian currently on a lap that he's actually already invalidated, so scratch that. What about Mixer, though? He is currently on a flying lap, and oh! Loses the car! Well, and yeah, I think that just proves qualifying is pretty much done.
So
again, very anticlimactic.
Into turns 8. Yeah, yeah.
He had a bit of a moment, but he was able to save the car through turn 8.
5 tenths down on his lap, down on his lap time through the second. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's rain droplets on the camera because I couldn't even see the coach for like a solid 3 seconds. So that just pretty much proves it. Qualifying is over. Might as well red flag. Red flag. Not gonna get anything out of it. Let's have an Imola Q2 where it's just red flag. Well, no, that wasn't red flag, but it was just a matter of too wet. You can't.
Yeah,
you just can't.
Yeah. I was honestly surprised when I watched qualifying on how many red flags there were. I was just like, holy crap, because you had 1 for Science, you had 1 for K-Mag, and then you had 3 in Q3, I think, because you had 1 for... Oh!
Oh! Corny table.
He drifted through turns 2 and 3.
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of that because I was on board with the coach who was going into the pits. But he's
dead at turn 4.
Has he kept out of the wall is the question.
I think he did, but
just about by the looks of it.
I think that's now 4 or 3 for turn 4.
I think yeah, 3 or 4 or something like that. James B's retired, so again, yeah. I think most people are most likely going to do inters.
What the? Wow, my brain.
That's a great question. Butters has retired as well. By the way, I just want to point out something interesting. Since Moo said it was 5 red flags, so proving your point, that actually set a record.
Yeah.
That set a record for the most red flags in qualifying, in which that was held before by the Hungarian qualifying back in 2016. That had 4. And same with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last season, where that had 4 as well. So,
I remember the 2019 Azerbaijan had a red flag in it for quality in Q2.
I don't remember. Oh wait, no, I remember now. It was because, actually no, it was not only just, oh yeah, he crashed, I saw that. It was not only 1, I think it was 2 actually, because I think, didn't Kubica crash in qualifying? I know Leclerc did, but
I think
Kubica?
I think Leclerc crashed because Ferrari were so good with their tire management on, outlap and in-laps or whatever. That they were able to do like a push lap, a cool down lap, and then another push lap. So they were going out on mediums, and on a push lap, Leclerc crashed behind Vettel into the castle section. And then
that's exactly what happened. That's where we got the infamous "I am stupid."
Yeah, Kubica did crash in the same spot. Now that I remember it.
Yeah, I had a feeling he did. Like, I know Kubica crashed. I wasn't sure if it was qualifying or if it was
like late
session.
Stages of Q2, I think.
Yeah.
Because like they repaired the barrier from where Leclerc crashed, and then Kubica did the same exact thing in like 4 inches to the left of where Leclerc did it.
Leclerc like locked up going into the castle session, from what I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, like he locked up, and I think Kubica slightly tapped it? He slightly tapped the wall? I don't remember. Anyways, in other words, qualifying's done, as we're just waiting on Mixer to finalize his lap time.
I need to send you something on Discord.
Oh, I don't even want to know. I'm not even gonna question it, to be honest.
No.
But we move. Not seeing any DMs right now. Mixer spun, by the way. He's lost his front wing.
What is that? That's turn 9. Oh.
That's entry. Interesting. But to be fair, the track is pretty damp. Could be why. I don't know. But, in other words, though, qualifying is done. And it is Titan on pole position for, I believe, the 2nd time this season. Because they got pole back in Bahrain. And 2R Mixer, once again, lines up on the front row. And James B, a very close 3rd. Well, I say close, it was 4/10 back, but, you know, still 3rd. Come on, Mixer, you can make it. There you go.
Do it! Reminds me of that, I can't remember what movie it's from, but like, I think it's an Adam Sandler, or like a movie with Adam Sandler in it, and the guy is just like, "You can do it, dude!" I don't know what movie.
I wish I could remember.
Yeah, I don't know what movie it's in, but I remember that specific one scene. Also, underdog in 5th on the mediums. Who would have thought? Like, and then Bois in 11th on the mediums. You know, he's only if he improved by like a tenth, he would have been in the top 10 on those mediums, which is a really good race tire to start on.
Yeah, decent performance from Bois, but a really great performance from One Underdog. He's in the top 5 on the mediums, but he has to contend with all these soft runners such as Titan, Mixer, James B, and Hungry Caveman, all starting in front of him. You've also got the likes of Urban Growth, Wrath, Caesar, Quick Tongue, and Slow and Steady also on those softs, so they could possibly get the jump. Unless Underdogs is just really good at starts. I don't know.
Yeah. So, at the moment, according to race director, the trusty race director, Bois
Yes,
Butters,
the very
the
lovely.
coach... Oh, never mind. The coach is on softs. Carbon is on mediums, and Flanders is on mediums. And Corny Table's on hard. Frizzy's on mediums. Stupid Flanders went to the softs.
From what I know is that
my
the race
God.
strategy... Wow, okay. Sea of yellow. Alright.
You just saw
From
right?
what I know, though, is that the tire strategy should be a very simple soft to medium or medium to soft. It's just a matter of who can give it absolutely everything, who can get that undercut, and will the alternate strategy play out, especially for the likes of One Underdog. He's currently 5th. If he could make that alt strat work, he could be a contender for the win. But it's tier 4. Again, I said it last season, I said it before, I'll say it again. Anything can happen, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, like, I just remember one of the races to go back to, well, there's a couple of races to go back to, but, you know, you go back to Japan of last season for Tier 4. You know, I think it was the start of lap 3. They went 3 wide, and just Slayer crashed. Johan had orange floor damage, and Bald Guy went soft mediums. And, you know, credit Bald Guy for going on to the softs, but also one other thing to note, Slow and Steady basically did the whole race on softs. Granted, there was like 3 safety cars to help him.
And he got like P4 or something.
He got P2, no P3.
Yeah, like he was right up there. So,
yeah,
you know,
because
if you can make it work, it can happen.
Yeah,
needless to say.
I stayed out under the late race safety car, which lasted about 3 laps. And I was in P3, and Phantom and James B were 1 and 2, and they both pitted for softs. And I had 2 laps to hold off Johan Laura in P2, and I was literally 1 warning away from getting a penalty, and I'm just like, I just gotta keep it in the white lines. So,
yeah, and he was coming in like a rocket ship, so yeah.
And then the very next race, he had orange damage again, and he still finished like 7th. Minus, well, he did run out of fuel that race, but still, hey, we move.
Yeah. Johan Laura last season definitely showed his pace, and well, he's moved up to tier 3 now, so he's a little bit more competitive in that regard. Meanwhile, Titan and Mixer are just absolutely gone compared to the pack, interestingly. Let's go over to the looking over at previous stats, though. One thing that I can recall from last season is that it was won by Ball Guy in the Ferrari. We'll see if Wrath and Sprightly can possibly replicate that, as unfortunately Ball Guy is not here. But maybe Ferrari can go back-to-back here in Portimao. We'll just have to find out. 33 laps of racing, and it's Titan on pole, Mixer on the front row, and well,
Also,
it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, that last season for this race, it did rain like midway through the race, so
That's true. It did. Could happen. You never know.
But I mean, I doubt it because someone said in the T4 chat it's going to be dry. So,
Oh, we thought that last week, and it ended up being a dry to wet to dry. So, I wouldn't entirely believe that.
also the whole field is in a Alpine sandwich.
You're right, yeah. As Stupid Flanders is lining up on his 20th grid spot, as Titan is on pole. It's almost actually kind of similar to Imola qualifying, but nonetheless, this isn't Imola qualifying. This is the Portuguese Grand Prix. 5 red lights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go. It's a pretty good start from the front two, and already a lot of jockeying down the back, but it's Mixer and Titan going wheel to wheel, and Mixer having the inside. He takes the lead into the first corner. Then it's Titan, Hungry Caveman. There's already a spin and a lot of contact between a couple of drivers. Wavy and Slow and Steady have gone round. Same with Carbon. Same with Corny. Actually, no, Corny Table hasn't spun. Apologies for that. But it's Mixer that leads now from Titan, from Hungry Caveman, then it's James B, Urban Growth, Quick Tongue, that's Wrath, Butters up to P8, Caesar up to P9, but it's quickly overtaken by One Underdog, and One Underdog easily gets the move. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2, and Stupid Flanders has had a bit of a moment at the hairpin, but so far everyone keeping it clean, everyone managing to keep their front wings as Bois makes a move on entered Caesar, and he moves himself up into the points. Frizy makes a double overtake, and he moves himself up into P11. Sprightly's at the P12. Caesar is falling back.
Yeah, a lot of commotion here on this first lap. Like, a bunch of guys are pushing as that is Urban Growth getting a double, losing 2 positions there by Quick Tongue and Wrath. Butters, the Haas guys really moved up there. Butters was in P12. He's up 4 positions. Bois up 2 positions. James B's into the pits.
That could be an interesting story. James
B's
B's in the pits. He might. I think they have front wing damage. 4 people are into the pits right now. Looking over at James B, he does have front wing damage. What about Caesar? Does he have damage? Yes, he does.
The coach has damage.
The coach has damage. Slow and Steady has damage. Flanders has damage. It's all kicked off already.
Buddy, what happened?
Flanders has retired already, so he's already called it on his race. Surprisingly, unless it's possibly a wheel glitch, which is super unfortunate.
Yeah, most. Oh, Quick Tongue's around.
Oh, Quick Tongue. Turn 8.
Also, Butters up to P4 on lap 2.
Yeah, Butters having a brilliant start. He's actually the one of the drivers who's moved up the most.
Yeah.
He's moved up the most, up to P8. Frizy's moved up the most positions, and he's gone up 9 positions. But in terms of the front two, they've switched. Mixer took the lead into turn 1, and he's already pulled a 1-second gap to Titan behind. Then Titan has already pulled a 1-second gap to 100 Caveman.
On the inside of turn 15.
Oh, that's usually not note-taking opportunity. He has spun at turn 15, has now been relegated down to P13 in that regard.
This is spicy.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of a train forming. Butters, Wrath, Bois, One Underdog, and Frizy on a train. And Bois possibly could be looking for the move down the inside into turn 5. Does he make the move stick? Wrath goes off the track, and Bois is up to P5. So Haas already up to 4th and 5th. They've had a brilliant start.
Yeah, you just gotta keep the momentum and just keep their heads down. There's still 31 laps left of this race to go.
Meanwhile, One Underdog and Wrath going at it, and One Underdog goes round the outside of turn 9, and he's ahead. Yellow flag, and Arabian Killarak has gone round at turn 8. Urban Growth has crashed. He's out. He's out of the race. He's retired, and that's at the exit of turn 9 going to turn 10. What has happened there? Have to see if that possibly causes a safety car, but it doesn't look like it is by the looks of it. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a battle forming for the lead. Wrath is into the pits, by the way, so he possibly collected a bit of damage from a driver or something. Oh, Titan loses the car, saves it though, and he manages to keep out of the barrier as Wavy's now retired, and that's a safety car. What just happened there? Okay.
I was trying to fix my camera because back camera angles from Cody's. And I can't figure out how to do that.
It's a classic.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to change it, so I'm just gonna move.
You can't exactly change it. It's just it's just what the game gives
No,
you, really.
like the TV offset. Like I changed the camera angle around, and I can't figure out how to change it back to normal.
Oh, it's either enabling it or disabling it, or from going from global to car specific.
But in like
That's really the
settings.
way to do it. Yeah, and the camera customization. But anyways, moving on from that. So safety car is now out. The question is, what do people do in terms of pits? Because right now, Mixer, Titan, and Caveman, the top three, all on soft. Well, Mixer has already gone into the pits. Titan, staying out. Oh! Oh, that's just harsh. That is just harsh. You gotta drive through Hungry Caveman. Got a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car as he was going into the pits.
F.
That is just painful. Arabian Killarak has also gotten a drive-through for speeding under safety car. Yikes. What has gone on for those two drivers? Mixer went on to mediums. Hungry Caveman went on to hards, interestingly. Underdog, he's gone to a new set of mediums. What about Sprightly? He comes into pits. Mediums as well. And Arabian Killarak, what tire does he go on? He goes on to a set of hards. So, it's a bit mixed right now, as the coach is retired. That's in the pits. So he's had an issue of some sort, and he's already done. Very interesting. So, strategy has been kind of mixed around a bit. So Titan's staying out. He's clearly wanting to do that one-stop strategy from a soft to medium. Same with Butters and Bois. Speaking of which, Haas are 2 and 3, by the way. So they've had a brilliant start to this race. We'll see if they can keep that going. But everyone from 1st down to 7th has stayed out. 4 of them are on the soft compound of tire. So that is a very interesting call for them. The question is as to whether it pays off.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Excuse me while I get my corn.
Turn.
I have corn on the cob, leave me alone.
Ooh.
I know, right? I've had it with me with a burger as well. And also barbecue chips as well.
You know what's funny? I was
kind of living the dream.
I was doing ACC practice before this, right? And I was in the party with Skeppy, and Skeppy, a guy joined, and he goes, I was making burgers, man. And Skeppy goes, man, if you're making food for yourself, especially burgers, you gotta make one for everybody. And,
facts!
and
Nah! You have to make it for everyone else. Ain't no way.
I made the Skeppy, and I said, Skeppy, I'll bring a grill to the garage on Sunday so we can cook burgers in the garage. And he's just like, I'll just cook burgers outside. I'm like, in ACC Skeppy. And he's just like, oh, okay.
I don't think he quite understood that.
No,
Arabian Killarak is back into the pits again, by the way. And he spent it in the pit lane. He's gone into a set of softs. Interesting. Wrath has also gone on to softs as well. I completely missed that. So I'm a bit confused now as to what the strategy is right now.
I'm always confused, so that's why I don't even bother asking.
We know this. Oh, beautiful camera angle as we're seeing all the drivers from first all the way down to, I believe, P13, all going through that turn 9, 10, and 11 section, and I wish I got rid of the overlay. It was just beautiful. I had that last season. It was nice.
The one thing I dislike about this game and this camera angles is when they're coming into turn 5, and you're not, like, you're riding on board with, like, the TV camera, or the broadcast camera, the overlay is, like, right there. And you have to, like, hide the UI.
Yeah, you can't see the apex.
Yeah. No, like, you can see the apex, but, like, where the UI is, it's, like, hiding the cars if you're in a broadcast. It's hiding the cars doing an overtake.
Yeah, it is. Bois into the pits, by the way.
I'm assuming he's going to mediums.
will stay on board with the Haas, but that is very interesting. He stayed behind the safety car. I think he was trying to extend this off so he could go on a set, or what's the plan here? That's a set of mediums. So he's going long on the set of mediums if he's trying to perfect the one-stop. So, that is a very interesting call. He'll catch up to the pack, no problem. But very interesting from the Haas. I believe we're just waiting for Bois and Arabian Killarak to line up, and I think the safety car should be in this lap?
Yeah, it's done 3 laps already, so...
Yeah, so I think...
Also, credit...
Should be in.
Credit, okay, wow. Second up 10 positions. Third up 14. Fourth up 11.
Yeah, they clearly stayed out behind this safety car, and it has paid off a little bit. Track position.
But, you know, that's Carbon.
Wow, okay, ouch.
Okay, so before we go too far, I give this man a ton of crap, and he knows that I'm just joking with him, and this season he literally said, I'm bringing back the spin counter, and I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah, be happy I didn't do that.
No, I mean, I
tier
thought
3
you did.
for you.
Like, I thought you did, so I was like, nervous.
Oh, hold on a minute. Somebody's just lost their front wing. Who was that? That was Carbon.
Oh, Carbon.
I saw front wing just completely fly off. I think he might have hit the back of Mixer. So he'll have to dive into the pits, but that was completely unexpected there. We're going to go back on board with Titan, though, as he is, well, he's playing the patient game as he knows he needs to get the jump over Butters. And Frizy, does he go now? He looks like he has. Yes, he has. So he now crosses the line. The race is now resumed. Butters staking very nicely onto the back of the Alpine, though. The two Williams, by the way, have gone into the pit, so they're double stacking. But so far, everyone keeping it clean. Mixer has already moved himself up into P5. He's gotten ahead of Quick Tongue off the start. Quick Tongue diving it back into turn 3. You have to be careful, though, because the Mercedes of Corny's right. But then there's contact between the two. But Mixer looks like he will get ahead only just... Unless Quick Tongue is still trying to fight it back. Instead, Mixer is going to try and go for the move down the inside on Corny Table into turn 5. Is Corny Table going to try and stick around the outside? He has. And they're still going wheel to wheel down turn 7 and turn 8. Well, turn 6 and 7. Now to turn 8. Mixer is ahead. And he's already up to P4.
Oh, for a moment.
Your mic kind of glitched out, but from what I know, you said Frizy had a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I did hear that correctly, and that's clearly losing him time, because look at that. Mixer's already on the back of the McLaren.
Also, I wanted to point out something else. I don't know if you mentioned this already. Underdog went back onto the mediums.
I think I did mention that at one point.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to make another stop. So that's a 2-stop confirmed from him.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, Mixer and Frizy now going wheel to wheel down the main straight. Mixer having the inside. He got the run out of turn 15. It looks like he might clear the McLaren before they even get to turn 1. He has. Who needs DRS? And he's up into P3. And Quick Tongue, I believe, has gotten ahead of Cordy Table for P5 as Mixer gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, Underdog's going to send it down the inside of the corner table and the inside of turn 3 to turn 4.
Whoa.
Both of the drivers had a moment.
You don't have to see a move around the outside into turn 4, but one Underdog has managed to make it work, and he's moved himself into P6. Corner Table trying to fight it back, but he doesn't have the grip to do so. Meanwhile, a little bit of a moment there between James B and Wrath. I mean, sorry, not James B and Wrath, James B and Caesar, and that costs Caesar a position, and he's now down to P10 as he's overtaken by Wrath. As Wrath had a moment, so did Caesar. Oh my gosh, Caesar's in a Ferrari sandwich.
Yeah, it probably looked like he was
Quite
going to make
literally.
the move out of turn 8, which is notably called slow and steady at the moment.
Oh. He has, at exit of turn 11, he's managed to keep it going, though, and that's gifted another position to Bois, as he's now up into P12 in the Haas. Who's looking over who's the closest to another driver. It's James B on the back of Corner Table. DRS has now been enabled as Titan has crossed the line to start lap 10 of this race. James B on the back of the Mercedes of Corner Table, and he could possibly be looking for the move into turn 1, like Mixer did to Frizy down the inside. And that's an easy move for James B. He moves himself up into P7.
Yeah, definitely. Mixer's all over the back of Butters looking for a move. And turn 5, he's thinking better of it.
You know, someone who could also be looking for a move is Wrath on the back of Corny Table. Nice camera angle game. Yeah, nice track. Nice track. There we go. Anyways, Corny Table's managed to stay ahead, and Wrath is now has to stay behind in P9. And he has to be careful, though, because Caesar is behind him as well. And, oh, Corny Table's gone round. Turn 8.
Claims it's first victim of the race.
Second, I think. But nonetheless, that has now put him down to P12, and that gives Wrath, Caesar, Sprightly, and Bois a couple of positions, which is exactly what they would have wanted. Meanwhile, the battle for P2 is starting to heat up once again, as Mixer is all over the back of Butters for P2 in this race, nearly hitting the back of the Haas. He's going to have the DRS, though, down the main straight, and it's going to be an easy move. Doesn't even have to worry about making it to turn 1 ahead of him, because he's already ahead.
Yeah, but he's drained almost all of his battery trying to get up to where he's at now.
Oh! Quick Tongue! Round! I thought it was contact between him and Frizy, but no, Quick Tongue just losing it on the turn 1 curb, and that has now put him down to P11.
Yeah, make sure his tires are nice and cool through turn 4.
Look at this train that's going on back here, by the way. There's a bit of a 4-car train right now between Wrath, Caesar, Sprightly, and Bois right now. And Bois is the closest driver to the next person, around like 3/10 or so. So Bois is clearly on a mission.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of a moment, a little bit of oversteer there into turn 8 as there's the car around at turn 4 of Carbon.
Turn 4 once again claiming another victim in the session, and Carbon is now relegated down to P15 in this race. By the way, something I want to mention, Mixer is already caught up to Titan.
Yeah, but just look at the battery difference.
Yeah, that's true. Mixer is blinking down the main straight. He set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1:19.8.
Carbon's
Yellow
around
flag.
at turn 8 again.
Yeah, Carbon clearly not having a good time here in Portimao. One underdog has gotten past Frizy, by the way. Battle for P4, and that has gone in the way of the Aston Martin. And he is going to try and chase after Butters now. Quick Tongue gets a 3-second. Looks like Frizy has had a bit of a moment, and now the two McLarens are together as James B has caught up to the back of this pack. Oh! Bit of a moment once again for the McLaren.
Was gonna look for a move on the exit. No, he's not.
James B, I think the McLarens just easily swap positions there, and James B has now moved himself up into P5 and is now going to try and chase after one underdog.
No!
Oh! Round at turn 8. And once again, turn 8 claiming another victim in this race, and this time it is the Haas of Bois, as he is now way off the pack of where he was.
You know, I don't know if that
Carbon.
was,
Carbon's retired in the pits.
what's the word I'm looking for? Commentators, because I was on board with them, but, yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, precisely.
Mixer not able to make the move down into turn 1. He's just too far back. Clearly that ERS is starting to hurt him a little. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a battle forming for P6 once again, as Wrath is all over the back of the McLaren of Frizy, as Frizy really seems to be struggling on those medium compounded tire.
Yeah, 12 lap old, they should start, they shouldn't really start wearing out now. I'll give some grief, but they shouldn't be this bad. I wouldn't think.
Wrath trying to look for the move into turn 5, but Frizy is just able to keep his car ahead and get the superior grip, and he stays in P6 for the time being. Quick Tongue is into the pits, by the way. I think that might be for a change of
Wrath almost had a
tires?
moment on turn 8. Quick Tongue, yes, tires.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was front wing or not, so luckily he's managed to keep it going, so he's going to just continue on those medium compound of tire. Yeah, Wrath clearly having a moment, as you said, and he's actually low on ERS. I saw him blinking a little bit before he got to turns 10 and
Mixer
11.
made a move on the inside of turn 15 on Titan. It's actually Titan's in the box.
I think this is usually around the pit window that you would see drivers go onto the set of mediums, and Titan clearly knowing that he's dived into the pits and is going to go onto a fresh set. That now leaves Mixer into the lead of this Grand Prix, and already 4.7 ahead of Butters. Meanwhile, Wrath all over the back of Frizy, and he's looking for the move, but it's just not close enough and not alongside to do anything about it as of right now. Does he have the superior traction, though, out of turn 4? It doesn't look to be so. He has a DRS once again, but it's just not enough. Henchman saying in the chat that 2 Aussies are in the top 6, so we know who Henchman is definitely cheering for.
You should say it would be obvious, huh?
Oh! Oh no!
What happened?
Wrath had a bit of a moment going into turn 8, and Caesar tried to go up alongside. There might have been contact between the two, but Caesar was round, and he's now lost the position to Sprightly, and that could possibly be a steward's report later on. Only one word. Yikes.
I was just gonna say F.
That works too. Whatever works.
Whatever, clever.
Back over to the battle for P5, though, as this is still going on. This is the closest battle. Actually, he does.
Hearts, I think?
Could possibly be the hard compounded tire for the McLaren. That's released Wrath into the top 5. Sprightly now in 6th.
Oh, it's another set of
and that is a 2-stop. Or no, actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's a 2-stop.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I looked at the race director and wanted to see if that was the case.
So I believe, if I remember correctly, Butters obviously hasn't pitted yet, and neither is Corning Table. Underdog has to box again, James B has to box again, and Sprightly has to box again.
Excuse me while I take a bite of my corn on the cob.
Man,
yeah,
man,
those drivers still definitely had. No.
Yeah.
By the way, can we just see the situation going on Butters right now? He's got a Mick Schumacher helmet. Yeah, he's running Charles Leclerc's number. Just wanted to note that. Meanwhile, yellow flag. I think Wrath has gone around. Yes, he has.
Guardians, can you give me a good camera angle so I can see this debacle? No, you're gonna give me a helicopter cam? Cool.
Better than nothing, but, you know.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah,
Sprightly is into the pits, by the way.
I did notice that earlier, that he was running the number 16. Which I also thought was weird.
Bit of a funny situation going on there, needless to say.
Yeah, Sprightly going on to the hards.
So he's definitely going to the end on the hard compound of tires, so we'll have to see what he could do. Obviously, the hards haven't really been the best tire here in Portimao, but you never know. They could change my mind. Well, then again,
I mean,
I usually have my mind set, but,
yeah,
you know. Yeah. So far, the closest battle is between Corny Table and Hungry Caveman, but also between One Underdog and Butters. The battle for P2 is starting to rage on, and One Underdog is trying to make this an Aston Martin 1-2 provisionally. Obviously, One Underdog has to pit. Same with Mixer. I feel like his tires won't be able to make it. Butters definitely has to pit. But right now, Aston Martin, they are leading the Constructors' Championship, but they are looking very strong. And Underdog is looking to make this move on Butters for P2.
I just see what the ERS difference is. Not great.
One Underdog not able to make the move as of yet going into turn 1, so he's going to have to play a little bit of the patient game. Meanwhile, battle forming for P9 between Hungry Caveman and Corny Table, and also for P7 as well, as Titan has caught up to the back of Bois. Go over to the battle for P10, though, as Hungry Caveman is gaining on Corny Table in the Mercedes. Williams against Mercedes. Down the inside goes Hungry Caveman. Is there a bit of contact? He gets onto the curb. But so far, they managed to get off cleanly, and Corny Table stays ahead. Meanwhile, for P7, Titan has easily made the move. I think Bois just let it by, but Titan is now up into P7.
Yeah, I had to take a drink of water. My throat was getting tickly. Not tickly, but sore.
Fair enough.
You know, comfort really gets hard, man. When, you know, it's just putting the fluids to you, your throat gets all like sore from like not talking
I've had
for like.
symptoms.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't have anything serious. Like it was just a headache, but like corny table.
Oh!
There's 2 cars.
And Hungry Caveman.
What?
They both spun off.
That was not a
turn
Mario
8.
noise before you say anything.
I wasn't even gonna mention it, but alright.
Yeah, bull.
I wasn't.
There's contact
Meanwhile,
again.
around the outside. Oh, yeah. Caveman clearly looking a bit bold for that, but unfortunately that has ended in the wrong way. And now Corny Table is now down into P13.
Butters is in.
Yes, they are. Wrath going on to a set a mediums, but looks of it, yes, he has. Butters, interestingly, on the hard compound of tire.
Well, he's not going to go to the mediums or the softs because they can't make it, so.
That is true. Yes, to Coach, unfortunately, you are the only person in the chat. Sorry to break it to you.
Excuse me.
Corny Table into the pits.
Whoa,
I believe that
it's
might
gonna
be
get
for a
tight
front
and
wing
close.
change. Between...
Wrath and Caveman. Sorry.
Yeah, Wrath on the back of Caveman. Oh! Braking a bit late, perhaps a little bit too late for the Ferrari. I'm not sure if that's damage or not, doesn't look like it. But that has certainly unsettled him a little bit in this race.
Oh, look at this!
Oh wow, better traction in the Ferrari compared to the Williams, but Caveman is just able to stay ahead for the time being. Wrath clearly looking eager. Meanwhile, James B is into the pits.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's gonna go on a mediums, which he is. He's only gonna drop down to, I believe, maybe 6th place. Gonna split the 2 halves.
He'll drop down to 7th, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So he can still grab something out of this for sure. He just needs to pass the 2 Haas's and, of course, Titan. But Titan looks to be pulling away from Bois ahead. So James B might have a little bit of work to do if he wants to grab a podium in this race. Though, a couple other people still have to pit. Caesar, Underdog, Mixer. I genuinely believe that Mixer and Underdog cannot make it. Caesar, he could, because he didn't start the race on the tire.
Yeah, it's going to be a stretch.
It is, and he's being caught up by Titan very quickly. Gap between them, 3.5.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
It's gone 2 tenths already, so... Oh, that's gone up. Okay, so it's staying relatively the same, interestingly. Meanwhile, Wrath just not able to make the move on Hungry Caveman for the time being, as they are still the closest battle in this race.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Sprightly had a little bit of a moment because he was in P11 behind his teammate.
He might have, or maybe those hards just clearly aren't working, as Quick Tongue, obviously on the medium compounded tire, might have overtaken him. Not sure, we might have missed that. Meanwhile, Wrath has gotten a really good exit out of turn 14, going into 15, and he's really close to the back of the Williams. He could possibly make the move now. He is blinking on ERS, but he doesn't need ERS, as K-Man's also out of ERS, but he's got the DRS, and he's up to P9.
Yeah, really?
A lot of acronyms.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that, but I kind of had to.
Yeah.
Unintentional, but I made it work, needless to say.
Hey,
but Wrath is now up into P9. He's been dispatched, and he's going to try and chase after Frizy for P8. Gap between them currently sitting at 5.8.
Yeah, another gap to keep an eye on is James B slowly closing down on Butters.
Yeah, James B clearly having the pace on the medium compounded tire. By the way, I want to mention, Titan isn't gaining on Caesar as much as he wants to. In fact, actually, he hasn't gained at all. He's losing time. Caesar going really well on the mediums, as I believe that's Sprightly around at turn 8.
Yeah, probably just
Lost
pushing,
position, too slow and steady.
Probably just pushing the car. Uh-oh, underdog. Get back in there.
Oh, yeah. Underdog has left the session, so we're going to try and get it back in as soon as possible, as that's not what he wants, especially for Aston Martin's position as it stands. By the way, if Mixer were to pit right now, he might stay in the top 2. As Caesar is around 23.4. I'm not 100% sure as to what the difference, like what the pit stop is, like the seconds lost. But if it's like 22 seconds, he's currently running P2 provisionally. So mega pace from Mixer as it stands. By the way, it's gotten a little overcast.
Uh-oh.
What'd I say?
Nothing.
I said there is. They said you can never trust what people say, because sometimes it can completely change. Corny Table's got a 3-second time penalty, as James B has closed up onto the back of Butters. Yes, nice silence. Anyways, oh, Corny Table. Oh!
We're at the spine.
That's Corny Table. Oh, he has spun, you're right. So, two drivers making a mistake.
Safety car.
Yes, indeed. So, Corny Table's retirement exit at turn 4. I'm going to try and get a look. Yep. Hit the wall. I'm not surprised as a safety car that is on track. Now, the question is, what do people do? Frizy and Hungry Caveman are already into the pits, I believe, for a soft compound of tires, but looks of it. Frizy's on the soft. We'll have to wait what Hungry Caveman and Wrath can do. But look at the two Aston Martins. They're in a brilliant position as it stands. I'm going to assume you're taking a drink of water. I don't know for sure.
No, I'm just letting you do your thing.
All right, then. Mixer's already into the pits. So that has clearly stated what I was going to think of. Mixer into the pits. Is that a set of softs? It is a set of softs. What about the other Aston Martin of one underdog? Is it a set of softs for him as well? Yes, it is. What about Caesar, though? Caesar staying out on those hards. He has pitted. So there you have it. People clearly just going for it. They want to go onto the softs. Titans in. Bois is in. Butters is staying out. James B staying out. So very interesting. So Butters is now up into P3. James B is now up into P4. But the big thing here, though, both Aston Martins, they've kept their position, and Aston Martin are 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to wait. You know, it's still 11 laps, so anything can still happen. But I'm assuming
that is true.
The two Aston Martins are just gonna fly.
Well, Mixer clearly has had the pace this entire session, and he's shown it, and he's currently leading the race. He does have a 3-second time penalty, however. That's something you want to take note of. He does have a 3-second, so if he wants this win, he's going to have to pull 3 seconds from his teammate, unless one underdog also gets a 3-second time penalty. By the way, this is something I know you're aware of. The last time a team got a 1-2 in a race was last season, Alfa Romeo Belgian Grand Prix.
Insert people happy Deemer. Which
yes, you are a part of that team.
I don't know if you've noticed that emote is actually disappeared.
Yeah, because someone lost the server boost. It was Ritzy. Ritzy lost the server boost. That's why. I'm pretty sad about it too.
I should text him and be like, delete emote, add my emote back.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I don't think Ritzy's watching, but if he is, listen to Deemer.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say. Listen to him.
Someone click that and send it to him. Do it. But no, because like everyone used it, even though like
I was using it, that's for sure. I was definitely using it. You were. Yeah.
I saw
It
Potato
definitely became a
used
very
it,
popular
Carbon
emote.
used it. I mean, it was used. Like it's one of those emotes that people use. Like it just fell. What
Yeah,
the hell?
exactly.
Oh.
One thing to note, by the way, Alfa Romeo, who got that 1-2 at the Belgian Grand Prix, let's also not forget, they won the Constructors' Championship as well in the penultimate race of the season. I know it's early days, but that could possibly bode well for the Aston Martin team. It could also bode well in terms of the Drivers' Championship, as Phantom, who is in that Alfa Romeo, also won the championship by quite a margin over James B. So, if they do get this 1-2, it could bode well for their season, but it's early days.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
I said. So, you never know.
But no, so like
Maybe this 1-2 would never happen.
Yeah. But the penultimate race at Abu Dhabi, I think I started on the mediums, and Phantom crashed. I think it was like lap 3, exit of turn 2, and he went to go get food, and he comes back and he goes, "I'm back," and I said, "Okay," and of course, you know, we had our race party and whatever, and he was, you know, he never left the party. So he was giving me information that was crucial to me for what I needed. And I watched the race back like the next day, and when you and Zach were just like, if I were Redeemer, I would be scared right now because he's got the two fastest guys coming up behind him. And in like a lap, they were within 7/10 of a second. And then, you know, Johan hit me off into 7 and 8, 9. Or 8 and 9, so. And then I got a passing penalty. So.
You dealt with much faster drivers behind you before. Remember, Japan. You dealt with that, and you managed to hold off to take the win. So, you know,
yeah, but
you kind of know how to deal with that situation.
But it's Abu Dhabi. It's not Japan. Like, Japan was much more comfortable. Abu Dhabi was just like, send it. So, anything...
Well, nonetheless, you still did enough to get 4th, I believe, and take the constructors for Alfa Romeo. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it still paid off.
The last 3 laps of that race, I told Bois, and I was like, dude, I'm sweating right now. Like, you don't even know. Like, I'm not used to that kind of pressure. So...
You usually wouldn't be in that situation. It's just that situation that you never expect to be in.
Well, like, I knew as soon as Phantom asked to be teammates, I'm like, alright, I know we're going to be fighting for the top, so I got to be, like, ready for anything. So,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's just a mental state, you know, you just got to put your head down and just put your mind to it saying you can do this and move on with the race.
Yeah, exactly, which is exactly what the 14 drivers that are still left in this race are going to have to do for the remaining laps of this race, as we are about to get underway at lap 26, and Mixer has already gone. Has he got the jump on his teammate? He has, as the gap between them is 7/10. Cross the line, the race is now resumed. Now the question is, what has gone on further back? Well, Titan's got a great jump. He's already alongside Caesar. And could he possibly make the move into turn 1? Yes, he does. He's up into P5, and I think they went 3 wide further back as Caveman went off. And it looks like he wasn't able to make a move on anyone just yet. He's trying to go around the outside. There's contact. Blah is round. I think somebody might have lost their front wing. Was that?
Was Frizy, yeah.
It was Frizy, you're right. Lost his right side end plate.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a dive on the inside. That was a bit too bold, and Raymond Kulak not able to make that work, as he's going to have to stay behind in P14 for the time being. But it's Mixer from one underdog from Butters. Mixer has already pulled a 1.9 second gap to his teammate. He is absolutely flying in this race.
Yeah, it just shows that...
Actually, both Aston Martins.
It just shows like his race pace. Whoa, James B! Holy crap! Underdog.
What?
Underdog just got kicked again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, and Mixer's gone wide. Don't. I know I fed that, but don't. One Underdog still takes the fastest lap of this race, surprisingly, as there's a yellow flag. Slow and steady is round at turn 15.
Yeah, Frizy and Sprightly are into the pits. Oh, Sprightly, no.
Gets a 5-second time penalty. And James B has made the move on Butters, by the way, for down into turn 3. And James B, on the medium compounded tire, has managed to make the move, and he's up onto the podium once again. Butters looking for the move once again, though. And that actually is going to lose him a position to Titan. So Titan managing to get the over-under, and he managed to move himself up into P4. Caesar trying to go around the outside. Was there contact? Not sure. Caesar goes wide.
Oh,
does he get the traction at turn 5? Yes, he does. Oh, and Butters is round. Not what the Haas driver wanted, as he could possibly now be overtaken by Raymond Killarak, and he is, and now is outside of the points. Never mind, actually. Raymond Killarak makes a mistake, and instead, Butters is now back up into the points. But Titan is now starting to make a charge now. He's on the back of James B. Gap between them 6/10. Caesar not too far behind, so there's a bit of a train forming for P3 in this race. Actually, make that P2, as James B is closing on One Underdog is ahead.
Yeah, he's still in AI, so we'll see when he gets back in.
Hopefully soon. If he wants this Aston Martin double podium, 1-2, he's going to need to get into the session, so this is definitely hurting him by the looks of it. James B does have DRS on One Underdog, so does Titan, so does Caesar. Caveman flirting with that 1 second gap. So this could possibly be the battle for P2 as of right now. QuickTime gets a 3-second time penalty. He's currently sitting in P7. That could relegate him down to P8, as Wrath currently doesn't have a penalty for the time being. Meanwhile, Caesar's really close to the back of Titan, by the way. I saw the gap before. It was around a 10th or so.
Hey, Underdog is in the process of trying to rejoin.
Hopefully he does soon, because look at the gaggle of cards he's got behind him. James B is all over the back of that ghosted Aston Martin. He's back into the session, but it might be too little too late. James B has a DRS, and he's going to easily sail past that Aston Martin. They're both blinking. Titan can actually get them both here, you know. Down the inside, into turn 1. Does Titan get the move? James B trying to keep around the outside 8. He does so. Does he still have the position? Meanwhile, Caesar's gone off, but we're going to focus on the battle still. Titan and James B, as Titan drags around the outside into turn 4, but James B, with that inside line, is able to stay ahead, but he has a DRS. Now, going into turn 5, can he make the lunge? He is going to make the lunge into turn 5. He manages to keep it on the track, and Titan is up into 2nd place. Great battle between them.
Waiting for Underdog to come back and take his car. Oh, but
he's back.
Quick tongue.
Oh, Quick Tongue is round at turn 8. That's not what he wanted.
Okay.
I wish my scroller would work. There we go. Anyways, back over. One Underdog is back in this session, but he's now all the way down to P5. It's not what he wanted at all.
Yeah, I saw Quick Tongue spin, and then he just continued to roll back onto the circuit. I know ghosting's on, but that could have ended dangerously.
It could have, but luckily, thanks to ghosting, it didn't. Meanwhile, the battle for P2 is still raging on, as Sprightly's round at turn 8. But the battle for P2 is still going to rage on, as James B does have the DRS, but he's not able to make the move into turn 1 quite yet. So he needs the traction out of turn 4 to make the move. Titan low on ERS, same with James B, so they're level on ERS, I would say. Actually, wait a minute, there's another person to be careful of. Hungry Caveman, he's on the back of James B.
Yeah, this is really a fight for the last podium position. As Caesar gets past Bois into turn 5.
Looked to be an easy move for the AlphaTauri, and yet he is up into P7. He's now going to try and chase after Wrath for P6 in this race on lap 30 of 33. There's only 3.5 laps left to go, so the time is ticking. Who's going to make the move? Who's going to make the lunge and get the position that they want? Right now, Hungry Caveman is the closest to make a move. Same with Quick Tongue trying to fight for P10 in this race. Hungry Caveman fighting for a podium, though. So if he wants to make this move, he needs to get past the McLaren, as the McLaren is falling back a little from Titan, but he has that DRS.
Yeah, that's the only thing saving him at the moment.
It is. Quick Tongue has gotten past Aroon Killarag, by the way. Battle for P10, that's gone in the Alfa Romeo's favor. James B looking for the move, but it's just not close enough.
See what he does on the exit of 3 into 4.
Oh, Caesar gets a 3-second time penalty, so he's not going to be able to get that P6 position unless Wrath makes a mistake. James B not close enough, as of yet he's really late on the brakes, perhaps a little bit too late, and that could possibly put him under pressure from Caveman behind. Looks like, though, he's able to stay ahead.
Yeah, James B's got 2-3 more laps to fend off Caveman and keep it in between the white lines. Don't want to pick up a penalty this late, as that's just going to add insult to injury.
He's trying absolutely everything to keep within that DRS, but to also keep that Williams at bay. As Hungry Caveman, he's hungry for that position. He wants it. Yes, I made a bit of a pun with his username. Suck it up.
I'm not saying nothing.
All right then, moving on. James B is like 8.5 tenths behind Titan, as Titan, he has the pace to pull away, but it's just not enough. Meanwhile, Caveman, he's actually closing on the back of James B. Could he possibly have the look? No, James B having great defense, and he manages to stay ahead.
Yeah, James B just seems like it's Wrath getting a time penalty.
Oh, that's the battle for P6, now going to heat up once again. I think James B had a little bit of a moment at turn 4, but Hungry Caveman not able to capitalize as of yet, and look who's joined back in this fight. One underdog is back in this.
Yeah, while this battle is happening, Mixer's just extended the gap to 8.5 seconds, so...
Yeah, he's built the gap that he has in relation to his 3-second time penalty. Let's look over. Everyone has a 3-second time penalty, except for Quick Tongue, who has 6 seconds, and Sprightly, who has 5 seconds in this race. And it looks like that's going to stay the way it is, unless someone gets that penalty on the last lap of this race, which we're coming to real soon, as Mixer is on at the final corner. As it stands for the time being, look at Caveman. He is just trying to find every which way to get past James B right now. He's trying all sorts of different lines, braking late, turning in late, trying to get the exit, but it's just not enough. As Caveman, we're on the final lap of this Grand Prix. Caveman, is he close enough to make a move onto James B? It looks like no, he's not. James B, though, he could possibly look for a move on Titan. Oh no! Caveman gets a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to relegate him now down to P5, so he's not going to be able to get this podium place. James B, though, could he possibly have this P2? No, he doesn't. He's actually defending from Caveman behind, but this is not enough. Caveman gets a little bit of a tap, though, from underdog behind, but he's going to be able to stay ahead of the Aston Martin for the time being. Super tight between the two. But we're going to go from that battle over to the race leader as of right now. He's not had the best of times. He's shown he's had the pace over the past 2 races. Oh, and Titan's round is out. He's out. And that has cost him a chance at a 3rd straight podium. But nobody's going to deny Mixer of his, not only his first ever podium, but his first ever win, as he wins the Portuguese Grand Prix in a dominant fashion here. James B, he is going to hold on, and he's going to stay to grab P2 in this race. Caveman manages to keep P3 because one underdog got a 3-second time penalty. Wrath finishes P5, 100th over Caesar. So he manages to grab a top 5 position. Bois will finish P7, and I believe his first points of the season. Yes, it is. And make it a double whammy for Haas as they get a double points finish. Same with Alfa Romeo's. Quick-Tongue finishes 8th, so instead he finishes 9th. Wow, what an end to that race. Or did one underdog get that 3-second? I don't know.
No, it's the...
Driver of the day goes to Arabian Killarak. He unfortunately finished outside of the points. I'm looking at that. Not sure what's going on. Did he?
No, underdog's clean.
Interesting. We'll have a look at that. But nonetheless, though, it is still delight for Aston Martin as they grab a win here in Portimao, their second win of the season. Mixer's first win. James B once again grabs another podium in that chase for that championship. And whether it's one underdog or Hungry Caveman, I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused as to how this will go.
Well, I think underdog got it, but for now, I invited Caveman, but I can invite underdog if need be.
Let's just go with Caveman for now, but I think once everything gets sorted, it has to obviously be reported. But, you know, we'll get on with that in a minute. But nonetheless, at the end of this race, Mixer grabs the win here in Portimao from starting second on the grid. James B grabs another podium in that championship charge from losing out last season. And, well, that's exactly what he wanted here tonight. Hunger Caveman grabs that podium. I think it might be for glitch. I don't know. But nonetheless, he is on the podium as of right now. One underdog finishes 4th. Wrath finishes in 5th ahead of Caesar. Bois grabs P7 ahead of Quick Tongue. That's Slow and Steady. P9 ahead of Butters. Raymond Killarak just outside of the points. Frizy finishes in P12. We lost Titan, Sprightly, Corny Table, Carbon, The Coach, Irma Growth, Wavy, and Flanders from this race. With that, Redeemer, take it away for Hungry Caveman P3.
Yeah, I just had to get a massive yawn out of the way. Caveman, don't laugh at me. Caveman, congratulations on the podium. I believe, if I remember, you started in the top 10, picked up a light race safety car, or penalty. Gonna hurt your chances at getting the podium. Nonetheless, really good fight between you, James B, and Titan. Walk us through your race, and congratulations.
Thanks, yeah. I'm not sure what happened with that penalty. I have to look back. Apparently it was for speeding under safety car, but I was already in the pits, so not sure what happened there. But went for the one-stop strategy, so it wasn't too bad. Served my drive-through penalty right at the end of the safety car there, and then really just open air, tried to get my best times in, and that last safety car helped me out.
Yeah, definitely. The late race safety cars are definitely one thing to keep an eye on for. We go to Baku next week. One of your strong suits, or we're just gonna see what happens?
Well, a couple seasons ago, I think I won that race, so we'll see what I can do. I'd say it's one of my stronger races.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Minico, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Well, I will hand it off to you for P2 with James B.
All right, thank you very much. And, well, James B, it was quite an interesting race, needless to say. Lap 4, safety car, you opted to go onto another set of softs, if I'm not mistaken. And then that safety car looked to cost you for a second there. But you defied the odds, and you managed to jump your way up the order, and you grab another podium in that championship charge. Tell us, how was your race from your perspective?
Yeah, good. Off pretty crazy, to be honest. I got damage on lap 1, Me and Caveman came together going into turn one. I had slight like that lime damage, but it was just enough to
Marco.
keep throwing me off, so I had to pit, unfortunately. Yeah, and then I decided to go for another set of softs because I was anticipating that there was definitely going to be another safety car or two. So yeah, it was all good. I knew I'd be able to get into a set of mediums or whatever else. So but other than that, it was pretty chaotic race to be honest. Safety car up to safety car, same old story, but it is what it is. I'll take it.
Yeah, it definitely is what it is. To put it simply, it's tier 4. It's just kind of what you have to expect. Nonetheless, though, next week though, we go over to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the streets of Baku. Do you think you can grab that win, or do you think this might be a little bit of a slow one for you?
I don't think I can win there, to be honest. It's a lot of 90-degree corners, which I seem to struggle out of for some reason. I lose a lot of time, which I just don't understand why, but we'll work it out. But hopefully just be up there, top 5, top 8 or so, hopefully.
We'll just have to see in a week's time. Redeemer, do you have any questions for James B?
I can't hear him nonetheless. So.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I physically can't hear him. Like, he was
I
talking
can't
the
hear
whole
him if he's
time,
asking
and I
anything.
heard nothing, and I said Marco. So I heard nothing of what he replied to you.
Oh, well, I heard it, so he's definitely talking. I'll just confirm that, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a you thing. I don't know.
You know what? He joined.
sure.
I wonder. It's probably an Xbox thing, but I'm wondering.
But I can't hear him.
Probably.
Hang on. Why is...
Technical difficulties for Redeemer.
No, for sure. Okay, so he's muted on my end.
Weird. Can you unmute him?
I'm trying.
Who, me?
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. Now, I just need to figure this out. Do you have him blocked without realizing?
No.
No.
I've never met the man before, but...
Hey, man, you never know.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
never...
believe it.
I'm confused. I'm gonna stop now.
No, he's not blocked. I'll add him as a friend.
Well, nonetheless, I assume you don't have any questions due to the fact you can't hear him. So
No, I
we'll leave
can't
it
hear him.
at that. Not sure what's going on there. That's a little bit strange, but nonetheless, I can hear you at least, so that's good.
All is
But
good.
nonetheless, though, congratulations on another podium, second place here in Portimao. From what I'm being told, though, I don't think we'll be able to interview the first place driver, as I believe he doesn't have a mic. At least that's what Redeemer has told me through Discord. So I might have to confirm that, or not sure. Yeah, okay. But nonetheless, though, I'll just quickly go over Mixer's race. He started on the front row, and he got that jump into turn 1, and it's just been a consistent and quick race from him. And he took the win by over 10 seconds from the pack. And, well, it was a very well-deserved win. So congratulations to Mixer. That's going to wrap it up here for Tier 4 tonight. Be sure to tune in, though, in just around 30 minutes' time for the Tier 3 Championship, as they will go around the streets of... the streets? Sorry, this isn't a street circuit. The Algarve International Circuit. Then tomorrow, we've got Tier 2 and Tier 1. Same time, same place. Next week, though, we go back to the streets of Baku for what could be an enthralling race there at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We'll just have to see in a week's time. But for Redeemer and I, that is everything. Good day, good night. See you in 30 minutes' time.